You know, Iggy, I know that there are underlying profound and deep and serious issues around what we talk about, but I have to say, you and I kind of, at least I feel, I've kind of developed a bit of a friendship. I really enjoy talking to you weekly. I mean, I know it's
Oh,
about some very difficult themes, but I popped on to Zoom today and hey, Iggy's there. How you doing?
oh,
So,
yeah.
so, so
It
great to see you.
and it's been good to tell my story and that. And when I told Betsy before when I sat with my late mother about her hurts when they took all her children away from her to the residential schools, she was devastated in how they treated her because the Indian agents never thought very much of our people, anyways,
Yeah,
and always talked down to her. And like I said, she tried apologizing, and I told her she didn't have to apologize for nothing.
yeah,
But doing this, I'm not taking it to the grave with me either by
no,
me getting it out there.
yeah, and there are addresses above on our little boxes here that indicate where a person can go to see all of these videos. Okay, and all of these discussions and stories that you've been telling everybody. And we've been getting some nice feedback on numerous social media platforms. There are people, a lot of people watching these.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Now, today, I think we discussed that we would um, switch up things a little bit, maybe look forward and how you wish to take healing, the healing that you've been going through all of your life, and
Yeah,
and how other folks can join in that healing and to build upon the really the profound uh, themes around wellness and exercise that are part of the healing process. So why don't we start there, Iggy?
okay.
Yeah.
The When I returned here home to the community, and the canoes were a rite of passage for the young boys to get on the canoes to make the canoe club in every community back then. And that was always my dream to get on to the canoe and participate. But as it turned out, my dad used to be the coaches of the past, the generation before me. And one of the guys that used to pull for my dad and learn from my dad was Manny Cooper, like I mentioned his name before. And he had a crew out in Sartlip, and they were winning when he asked me to get to practice. So I was jumping up and down because I was happy I was going to a championship canoe. But
Mm-hmm.
he's the one that asked me there to give back what my dad gave to him, the way our culture works. I never knew it at the time, but that's why he asked me back, so he can pay back and watch me through my growing career in the canoeing. And one day they had the men's race. Oh, the women were out there already, and they were announcing the men next. And I was sitting on the log watching the races, and I could see Manny coming over to the side there, walking over to and stood in front of me. And he says, "What do you do? Do you just come here to watch races?" So I said, "Well, I don't have a single to go out and men's singles." And he says, "Look around here at all these canoes. Go borrow one. How are you going to start learning?" So that's how I got into serious canoe racing. He was teaching me that part of the races.
Um, that's actually where you and I started a
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
What feels like I think a year and a half ago, whatever. And it was around your involvement with the canoes, and I think of course, I had no idea the sort of reasoning behind it all, or the healing. and why the healing was happening. Um, are you at a place now where you'd like to tell your community of viewers and listeners around how they can join in that healing process with you? Um, yeah.
Yeah, what I've done and been advised, like with my elders and that, I got into counseling, like I told Betsy, strong counseling. Sure doesn't hurt to talk about it. I never knew what I was getting into when I started to get into counseling, you know? But the more and more I went to talk about, the lighter I felt. And it's good to talk about. And so people from my community that were there when I was there, I don't think any of them go, I'm not sure, but that I kind of advise that the start of all this too was strong counseling that helped me through a lot of my life, guiding me into my life and when I used to work here and to be positive about myself. And that counseling was a big step forward into working into as the old people here used to tell me, to go make it in the white man's world. And that counseling and that to my people that went to there, that hope that they would, a lot of them didn't bother with it that I know that are gone now. They never bothered with it. Never liked to talk about the Cooper Island or the residential school we were at. A lot of them didn't like to bring that up. My sister's like that too, I think.
Well,
But
certainly you have used talking about it, about your experiences is healing. Talking about being in a white man's community. I will cherish the day where we don't have to be in anybody's community, but we're all one community with unique characteristics. That is going to be a long ways away, but we're getting
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And not only was the counseling, but let's sort of focus, if I may. Uh, uh, so to many, canoeing, you jump in a canoe, you get in the water, pedal, 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 not pedal, paddle, 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 and but so much more is going on. Link that, please, to healing. Like, let's go deep into that. Why does that help heal horrific experiences?
When you're out on the canoe and you're paddling around, there's no other feeling like it. And always encouraged to get into the canoe because of that in our people's culture, and that the cedar is healing and the water is healing. And we are saltwater people. And my two other brothers, every spring we'd go down and get into our canoes and go paddling on the water. And that good feeling of getting into canoes all the time, you feel good about yourself. You feel good about your conditioning after you start getting into shape, camaraderie with each other. And like I told you guys before, the one thing me and my brothers never ever said to each other all the years we're around each other was, I love you. Even though we're down there, we never ever said that till near the ending of our canoe pulling career when I learned from my two younger children how to say I love you. That took them by surprise because you weren't taught that in residential schools. But there is no other feeling when you're on the canoe and you're racing each other, paddling as fast as you can. The good feeling. And with our elders, they still always say, let the good spirits guide you out there. And that's the way it feels when we're all together out there, me and my brothers. I said this to a few community members. This is the only way me and my brothers can become close family members. Otherwise, we're just distant neighbors that never see each other.
Yeah, you do it on the water.
Yes. And we take into all our teachings we get from our canoe and paddles together and take it serious.
I am baptized Catholic.
Yes,
I haven't. Have you are too?
yes.
Yes. And I haven't followed Catholic protocols because I disagree with many of them. And so folks have at one point or another in my life have said, well, you're not a religious person. And I say, well, I'm not, but I'm a deeply spiritual person. And we don't need to get into why that's different. You know why that's different. What are what spirits are involved with the canoe and with the water and with the air? Well, can you get into some of that? I'm fascinated to hear about that.
Well, that spirit that brings us together down there, me and my brothers. Like, I'm just using that for an example because after a while, when you have a canoe club down there, your canoe club becomes a family. And the elders always talked about that spirit that goes along with that canoe and paddles from the canoe builder. He had a spirit guide that went with the
Canoe.
canoe.
What
And
went with the tree? The tree is the original source of the spirit, is it not?
it
Yes.
stays, yes, it doesn't lose its life becoming a canoe. It just has to learn to get along without its branches.
Right.
People say its life continues as a canoe now. And it is alive, so it commands respect.
Mm,
And everything around it, the paddles and that, the crew members, that respect for each other.
mm-hmm.
And that's what we do when we're down there. Me and my brothers, who, because of residential school, people always wondered why we never showed unity, having family dinners or gatherings or whatever. We'd go down there and we're all one big happy family. Then practice is over, we go home.
Yeah.
But down there, that's where we really show how much family we are, the love for
Yeah.
each other and those canoes, because you have to show them respect. And the water is very cleansing in that. The old people say when we get into our little canoes and go for a paddle, we always bath our canoes every once in a while because we're not out there alone. Somebody rides with us.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Elders are ancestors from the past.
Yes. Do you feel that when
Yeah.
when
Oh,
you're
yeah. Oh, yes. We've all felt that. Me and my brothers
mm,
talked about it.
mm,
We've even said, was there somebody else out there with us?
wow.
But there never
Yeah.
was. There's that feeling. But that excitement and that really feeling good about yourselves and your family together,
Yeah.
that is such a big healing from
Well,
the way we can connect. Me and my brothers can connect as brothers is on those canoes down on the
yes.
water.
And then all of that um, translates into the rest of your life. I mean, if you have such a good experience, a healing experience, a good family experience, a good connecting, and a spiritual experience, you don't leave that beach. You don't leave all that there. You take it with you and
We
you bring it into your community.
Yes, everybody used to see us out there training and having a good time. And um, my late brother Fred, he's the one that used to round us up in the springtime. Me and my older brother Willard come around, and he's excited about getting going because of the feelings we had when we're down there on the water. And it, we are saltwater people, and the beach where we at, it has a lot of history behind it. With it was my great grandfather's beach to start off with, my dad's grandfather. Then it went to my grandfather Philip. It's where his canoe was. He had a dugout canoe where he went fishing every day. He lived on the water. That's the way our people were in those days,
Mm,
crabbing, fishing. And I remember my grandfather used to love seals.
mm.
to
Mm.
heat. But that was our people's way of life on the water. And that's our connection to that, our elders as being out there on the water.
And
That's
all of that was removed. All
yes,
of that was removed, and you are going back to that, or
yes,
you have gone back to that.
exactly, exactly.
And you wish to bring others with you in as much as making folks aware that this activity that you do on the water with the canoe, with the paddle, that it helps you heal from
Yes,
trauma.
it does. It really does. Carrying on our elders' ways of life, even though they did it for a living, because they lived on the water. My grandfather used to tell me when I was a younger guy, this bay out here is here to take care of our people, fed our people, crabbing, fishing, seaweed, everything. Way of life was it took care of our people, and we're just down there now. When I look down the beaches, I'm going to find out the name of all the where all the families had their own canoes, their own
Oh,
spots.
right.
They had their
That'll
own.
that'll be a series of chats. I can't wait for you to do that.
I'm
Ah.
gonna Eric. There's a book on it, and my cousin Eric was going to try to get me one of the name of the beach where we're at, my great grandfather's beach, and but they all had names. But I'm going to use that name of our beach and put it on the back of our canoe because the elders always say to the youth, be proud of who you are, be proud of where you come from and who you come from. That was one of our elders' teachings. And that's another thing we do down our beach is remind the younger children to be proud of who they are. Don't be bragging about when you win. You have to stay humble, but be proud of who you are.
Yeah. I recall during my teenage years, uh, wasn't wasn't the best behaved kid around the block. And when I needed to go somewhere to deal with some of those activities of mine, I would go to a beach. And so, in some respects, I share the strength of spirit that comes from that. I share it because I would heal myself down there. Everything
Yeah.
would make sense. There'd be a
Yes,
sense of clarity.
that's what we do. That's what we do. Me and my brothers did. Now we're teaching the kids how to enjoy that beach down there in the canoes and that, and your connection with your elders.
What role does the paddle play? Is the paddle a part of the tree, therefore part
Uh,
of the canoe?
yes, we teach the children to respect the paddle because we don't wear life jackets out there. And if you ever tipped over, you just grab onto that paddle and hold onto it. It'll
Huh?
keep you up until you upright your canoe. We're taught how to turn our canoe over and get back in, but we the paddles are alive too, and that's why you have to respect them, and you don't just throw them on the beach when you get come in on 11 man or 6 man. Certain people on each side get up off the canoe, pick up the paddles, bring them up to the beach, put them on by the logs, and come down and help with the canoes.
Ah.
But we are told they are alive too. That commands respect. The paddles are a big part of how you get to places where you want to go. The right paddle, your paddle is for you, and
Mm.
you take care of that paddle. And all the kids, they pick out, out of the 10, 11 paddles that are laying there, they go and find the one that's right for them. They put a little mark on it. That's their paddle for the season, and they take care of it.
That's great. Do they get to keep the paddles?
No, they hand them at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
Canoe owner has them all, the canoe club. So they're
Okay.
back again for next year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the paddles stay close to the canoe and the owner.
Yes.
So the
The
spirit isn't
canoe.
broken.
Whenever we go to canoe races to a different place, We never leave our canoes or our paddles. The canoe, we camp around our canoe.
Okay, that is
We
beautiful.
don't leave them by themselves.
I I'm this is so uplifting. Uh, Tell me about why don't we begin to leave it at that? But think about now just briefly. Are you in any activities with the canoeing over the next little while? Are you?
No, we
I,
got the season off for now until springtime.
oh,
A lot of people, a lot of the kids and canoers all go into dry land training,
okay.
the gyms and that to stay in shape so you're not so out of shape when you get back to the water.
Yes, but is there do you go back to the water as a group? Maybe
Yes.
not canoe, but maybe do you do something there? Do you?
Oh, no, the kids are pretty well in school by then, and it gets dark early around this time of the year, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we don't do it until the time changes again, and we
I
get together. And this year, I'm going to push more of the legend stories, like talk about the tree and the canoe and the paddles.
yes,
What
yes.
we just finished talking about, I'm going to push that on to more of the kids so they learn that about the respect of the canoe and the paddle. You tell them stories, and that really gets their attention.
Well, the strength of spirit from the water
Yes,
is, in my opinion, in my lifetime, the strongest spirit I've ever felt, and I felt them in numerous different places. But being by the water is regenerative. It just sort of rebuilds my battery, rebuilds my mind, and so I'm let's hope that most of those kids will watch this video and get some
yes,
understanding as you take them down there.
yes, yes.
Mm.
And throughout the years, I was surprised that none of their parents or a lot of we live by the ocean here, our community, and a lot of them have never been on the water. I was totally taken by surprise. A lot of them had never been in the water until they come to our canoes.
That's unfortunate that because
But
that's
that was all taken away from us as our way of life out there
yeah.
on the water.
Well, it sounds to me like you're going to get a few of those folks back to the water.
Yes,
And as soon as they get there, they will understand why it's so powerful down there and around water and around your canoes and around that whole activity. Uh, I'm going to come visit you. I'd like to visit you and I'd like you to take me down there.
okay,
I'll arrange
okay,
that. I'll arrange that
sure,
with
okay.
Betsy and yourself and take
I'd
some
love to show
pictures.
you. I'd love to show you down there in that.
Okay, Iggy, thank you. This is as impactful and powerful as all of your other videos. And I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much. Thank you so
Okay.
much.